be taking part into what we call the game of football of Arsenal versus Tottenham Hotspur. And for Gabriel Jesus, I came in here and dropped a very huge hint that he is expected to be back, and he has been training very well with the side of Arsenal, and Arteta is gonna hate to confirm that. But the most important bit of it all, it's coming in from Ricardo Calafiori, one of those players that Arsenal signed expensively from the side of Bologna to come in through and obviously do a job at the side of Arsenal. And worryingly, he really found himself injured when he was really playing to the international game, when he was really playing into the UEFA Nations League for the national team of Italy as they took on against France. The collusion was in between him and Ousmane Dembele, and it resulted into him really feeling like maybe he's not okay, and was taken off, pulled out of the Italian squad, came back to Arsenal for an assessment. His injury was referred to as nothing serious, but pulling out really went ahead to send Arsenal fans into a somber mode. But finally, we've gone ahead to obviously understand that there is hope that the manager will need to assess him during the training session that is going to be held on Saturday at the Sobharelli Training Center, and then the manager will obviously let us know whether he's going to be in or not. And that means on Saturday evening we'll be knowing whether Calafiori will be part of the team. And for Gabriel Jesus, he's going to be part of the team, but we'll need to know whether he's really going to be in the setup to start or not. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football, guys. It has been a while since I last went live, but I've gonna obviously let you know that I think on a day we are obviously gonna come and obviously really have a joy. And it shows you that you people have always gonna hate to be missing me live. Look, close to 30 people, you know, in a space of less than a minute are really onto this live, and I promise we are really gonna enjoy this as we talk Pep Guardiola, Nathan Ake, you know him very, Nathan Ake, who plays for Man City. He's also one of those casualties that Man City got during the national break, and we now know for how long he's gonna be out, and those games that he's gonna be missing into the mix. And Pep Guardiola has finally come up and talked about Phil Foden and Rodri's situation, and then obviously his threat as far as playing the side of Brentford is really concerned. So you know who are the people behind this live stream. It's all about Mono Gadgets. And who are Mono Gadgets? Mono Gadgets are dealers in phones and laptops. Those are really brand new. Even if you want a used laptop and a used laptop, you can as well come in through and obviously see it yourself, and they can really do deliveries. Call them on +256 70 9988 665, and the rest is really gonna be history. That is Mono Gadgets for you. And I tell you what, it's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be the same if at all you really go to Mono Gadgets. They have everything concerning a phone and a laptop that you want. So go into the comment section and really tell us, sorry, not the comment section, go on TikTok and search for Mono Gadgets. Go ahead and really see their vast range of products that they have on the market, obviously coming through and really put up for you to pick on. All right, so I think that's all. So where should we start from? Let's first thank God for the gift of life, and for the Muslims we thank Allah for the gift of life. And let's obviously get into these stories. Mikel Arteta has today gonna hate to be asked about a player known as Gabriel Jesus, and he said, he was asked on Gabriel Jesus returning to training. He said Gabi was out there, he's got another session tomorrow, and if everything goes well he will be ready to be selected in the squad, which is great news for us. Now he has been one of those players that you are needing a confirmation from the manager. I know most of you, however much, close to 4,000 people went ahead to watch that video that hinted onto Gabriel Jesus being a player that is really ready to come in through and really put in the required shift altogether. And most of you never really went ahead, obviously give it a very good sense of go. I was like, Let's wait and see what the manager is really gonna say, because the fly on the wall at Arsenal, known as, is it Ozil something, told us that he's taking part into the training sessions of Arsenal and is gonna be available for the side of Arsenal when they're taking on Tottenham Hotspur if all goes well and doesn't get a setback injury. And Arteta has come out and confirmed to us that, yeah, the fact is, Jesus has been here, he has been training, and he's waiting to see how he's really going to respond to training tomorrow, right? And he believes he's going to be great for the side of Arsenal. And I tell you, if Jesus passes the late fitness test, that is today or tomorrow, I tell you what, he's going to come up and feature into what we call the starting 11 for the club of Arsenal. I'm telling you this. If Jesus travels with the squad of Arsenal, right? If Jesus travels with the squad of Arsenal to where? To the side of Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, he's going to be part of the starting 11. I'm 90% sure. Why? Because Arteta will 100% put Kai Havertz into the midfield. That is it. It's a given. He'll put him in the midfield because he knows to it that if he wants to field a strong midfield, he'll put Kai Havertz in the position where Martin Odegaard is supposed to be playing at. You understand? Then later, he'll put in Declan Rice and... not Declan Rice, he'll put in Partey and Jorginho into that midfield. And if Jesus keeps himself fit, we'll see Kai Havertz being played as a number 10 in a position that I believe he can thrive better, because all of those that saw him at Bayern Leverkusen, that's where he played most. And I think he needs to obviously get himself a chance to play into that position, because I've always gone ahead to let people know that however much Kai Havertz can be played as a number 8 and plays very well, he can be played as a number 9 and play very well, but his best position is a number 10, and the coming in through of Gabriel Jesus will give Arsenal a chance to obviously field this guy into his best position ever. I tell you, that is his best position. He's press resistant, he can win balls, and he can find those line-breaking passes. And by the way, he can really find those line-breaking passes better than Odegaard. Most of you will be like, Rokani, what are you talking about? Do you know Odegaard? I respect Odegaard, I love Odegaard, but I know what I'm talking about. I know what Kai Havertz can do. You know, Odegaard is good. But the problem with Odegaard is he sometimes makes lots of touches into that midfield. You know, that quick thinking sometimes. You understand? He sometimes feels like I can really do a moment of magic. But for Kai Havertz, he can really get hold of this ball, you know, and really think quickly and do that. But I believe Odegaard is a better number 10 at Arsenal, but Kai Havertz can come in through and really do equally the same job like Martin Odegaard. And by the way back I did a video and I told you that Arsenal doesn't have a player who comes close to Martin Odegaard, and I apologize for that, because I hadn't gone ahead to talk about Gabriel. I haven't gone ahead to talk about the guy called... I hadn't gone ahead to talk about a guy called Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is really a very good player in the number 10. And that's why I tell you that the return of Gabriel Jesus is really going to be very important for the side of Arsenal, because when he returns, a lot is really going to go the way of Arsenal. And I would like to extend my gratitude to Ugandex, Kahid Jr., Clifford, Mwemba, thank you for watching through. Then we are having Kendra, Deron, thank you for watching in through. And you are really doing a very good job, and I'm really gonna be coming back to respond to your questions, but I'll still breaking Gabriel Jesus down. But on the other hand, on the 10% that we consider, because we don't want to be so conclusive on whether he's really gonna start or not, the manager might think he has been really suffering from an injury, and why should I hurry him in such a game with huge pressure, you know? But as I've told you, Arteta has done this on several occasions, starting these players that have just got a hit return from injury. We saw him do it onto Jesus on several occasions, you know, when he's returning from injury and gets him the starting 11. We saw him do it on Gabriel Martinelli, you know. We saw him do it onto Benjamin White. Thomas Partey, he has done it. On Jorginho, he's gonna hate to do it. You understand? On Tomiyasu, he has gonna hate to do it. So I think he trusts the physios for the side of Arsenal, right? And he really believes in what they tell him, and is like, they cannot really lie to me, and they are giving me the best that I really deserve in as a manager to know to take this team to the next level. So from Gabriel Jesus, I think you're gonna obviously discuss that. Let's go to another player that was really injured and went ahead to send you guys into a somber mode, and he goes by the names of Riccardo Calafiori. Now, for Riccardo Calafiori, he's this kind of player that was initiated into the team of Arsenal, especially after that game of in the game of Wolves. I think he never featured. He came in through and really played in the game of Aston Villa, and he came on through to play the game of Brighton. And that means, having gone ahead obviously take part into those two games of Arsenal, he would qualify to be into the starting 11 for the club of Arsenal when they're taking on a side called Tottenham Hotspur. But unfortunately, he found himself injured. But today, Arteta was asked about Riccardo Calafiori's availability. This is what Arteta had to say. It's another one that we have to wait another day also. So, for him, he has not gone ahead to be as very sure as he was onto Gabriel Jesus. For Gabriel Jesus, he told us that it's a matter of waiting to see how things are really going to unfold and see how they get him into the mix. You understand? But for this guy known as Calafiori, he's like, we have to wait another day also. Now, first and foremost, I see all these as mind games by Mikel Arteta, because he knows to it that the game of Tottenham Hotspur is not going to be that easy. He knows that it's really going to be a very hard game for the side of Arsenal, and he's like playing mind games on the side of Tottenham Hotspur because his team can't be predicted. However much we came up and obviously put up what we call the probable starting 11, and you guys have gone ahead to obviously see it very well. I put Riccardo Calafiori, I put Raya in goal, Benjamin White was the right back, Timber left back, Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes centre back pairing, Partey, Jorginho and Trossard into the midfield, Saka, Martinelli and Kai Havertz. That is the front three. That's the team I really went in for. But if you really see what Arteta is doing today, all he did today in the press conference, he was playing what you call mind games, and was like trying to send a message to the side of Ange Postecoglou that you won't read my mind. You cannot really know who I'm really gonna start with. And by the way, there is a formation that we haven't all gone ahead to talk about, the surprise formation, and he might come up with a 3-4-3 system. He can't come up with that system because he can have the following, especially if at all he can have this guy back, known as Riccardo Calafiori. He can come up with what we call a 3-4-3. And what would be his back three? His back three would be Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Julian Timber. Back three. Then in the four to play in the midfield, the right wing back, Benjamin White, the left wing back, he can use Riccardo Calafiori, you understand? Then he can get in, by the way, in that system, he can even use Zinchenko, Zinchenko or Riccardo Calafiori. Then in the double pivot, he can use Declan Rice and Thomas Partey. Then the front three, Saka, Martinelli or Trossard, and Kai Havertz. By the way, I think that's the best system. That's the best system that this manager can come up and really use, all put up into this game of football. That is it. That is it. Guys, what better system can fit the side of Arsenal if Ricardo Calafiori is back than that? Tell me. That's what I think. I think a 3-4-3 can act better, but I don't know whether Arteta will think about it, But if he goes with the back three and 4 players in the midfield and the front three, I think he can really cater easily for the absentia of Declan Rice and the absentia of Martin Odegaard. I know I've seen very many people raising concerns that Arsenal is really going to be missing the leadership of Martin Odegaard, But let me bring you up to speed. Martin Odegaard is one of those players that has gone ahead to obviously put in a very huge shift in as far as leadership is really concerned. But the hierarchy of leadership at Arsenal has players who have been captains. For example, look at Jorginho. You get Jorginho has been a captain at Chelsea. He has been a captain at the Italian national team, and he has won when he's really captaining this team. You understand? So that's why I tell you that if Jorginho is in that team, he can be the best captain on the field of play because he has the leadership skills and he'll obviously command the game. He knows exactly what to do, and you won't send him for 1,000 kilometers on foot if you give him that armband of Arsenal. You understand? So if you go ahead and really give him what we call, if you go ahead and obviously give him what we call the armband, he can obviously captain you very well. You understand? He's a very good leader. And the previous game we saw Odegaard give the armband to Bukayo Saka. You understand? And Saka might be a leader himself. Jesus, he's being looked at as one of the leaders of the club of Arsenal. So I think leadership is not the problem because that team has all what it takes to really be led, even without Declan Rice or any other team or any other person into the mix. But I know they're going to be missing Martin Odegaard. But in his absentia, I know lots of players can come in through and really take that job to the next level. And for Declan Rice, when he returns, I think he's going to be returning in the midweek, because in the midweek, that's when Arsenal is really going to be playing other fixtures, as with effect from this weekend, Arsenal is going to be playing 2 games per week in the UEFA Europa League and in what we call in the UEFA Europa. Arsenal is not in the UEFA Europa League. That is Man United. Arsenal is going to be playing in the Champions League, Premier League. There is Carabao Cup, and so many more to come. So that is Arsenal for you. And to bring you up to speed, Arsenal won't stop, and that squad that is left can really do the due diligence and they can do the needful to bring in the best way possible. So let me really take you through the fixtures of Arsenal. On Sunday, they are playing against Tottenham Hotspur. On Thursday, they are playing against Atlanta in the UEFA Champions League. Next Sunday, 22nd September, they are playing against Man City at the Etihad. EFL Cup, Arsenal will play Bolton Wanderers, right, on the Wednesday of 25th. Then Arsenal will have to play Leicester City on Saturday 28th. Then 1st October, they'll host PSG in the UEFA Champions League. Then on 5th October, Arsenal will host Southampton. And those will be the 6 fixtures that Arsenal, are they 6? They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are going to be 7 fixtures that Arsenal is going to be playing before we go back to the international break. From the 6th, to the 18th of October, there won't be games being played. You understand? No games will be played until these players return to play on the 19th as Arsenal plays away at Bournemouth. So I believe in that squad of Arsenal, and I know they're really going to be doing better and better and better and better. And it really sends a very huge message to everyone that that Arsenal has a very huge squad that is really competitive. For everyone who doubts Arsenal and their levels of competitiveness, then football is not meant for you. They are really good and they are really good to go, and nothing is really going to stop them on the side of Arsenal to put in a very huge shift. So wait and see how Arteta is really going to be lining up on Sunday. But you can as well catch my match preview to see what my thoughts are about how Arsenal is really going to be lining up on the fixtures that are really going to be coming in through thick and fast very, very soon. So after that, before I really come to obviously read your comments, let me first obviously get done with everything concerning Arsenal. And after this, and I do your comments, I'm going to be going to Pep Guardiola. Arteta on his best memories of the North London derby. This is what he had to say. Probably afterwards, especially when you win at home and you celebrate with your supporters and you know how much it means. It's something special, and we have so many huge Arsenal supporters since the day that they were born, and looking at our staff, we have some good examples around the first team as well. They came in after, and you can see the emotion and what it means for them. It's a privilege to have the power to contribute to making someone really happy. So that's what the man is telling us, and that is the North London derby. So Arteta has gone ahead, obviously, tell us the best memories of his North London derby in there for you. So that is Mikel Arteta for you, the gaffer of Arsenal. And let me obviously get into your comments. This is you, Gadex. Good morning, Aradi. Good morning, my brother. Clifford Mwemba. Hello, Rokani. How are you? Clifford from Lusaka, Zambia City. I'm asking how playing the midfield on Sunday against Tottenham Hotspur. I've gone ahead to let you know that, first and foremost, if Jesus and Calafiori start on the bench, I anticipate the following starting 11. Raya in goal, Benjamin White, right back, Timber left back. The center back partnership, I think it's going to be all about Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. Then, when it comes to the midfield, I think it's going to be all about Trossard, Partey, and Jorginho. Front three, Saka, Kai Havertz, and Martinelli. Now, if Jesus is past fit and the manager finds it okay for him to start or to go into the starting 11 for the club of Arsenal, guess what will happen? I think the midfield will change. The manager will drop Trossard from the midfield and get Kai Havertz to play into the midfield three. And then Jesus will lead the line. He can as well put Kai Havertz into the midfield three and let Trossard lead the line. So a lot can be done. And if at all Ricardo Calafiori can start in that game, my mind is telling me Arteta can go in for a 3-4-3 system with the back three of Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Julian Timber. Then Calafiori as the left wing back, Benjamin White as the right wing back, and then Partey and Jorginho in the double pivot. Saka, Havertz, and Martinelli to lead that line. I see it that way. So I don't know what your thoughts are about it, but I'll be hugely waiting to see what Arteta is really going to be doing. But those are my thoughts about how I believe Arteta is really going to be really lining up. Then Kendra, Daron, Rokani, good evening. I'm your fan, and tell me more about the prediction of Arsenal Tottenham. I went for a 2-1 win for the club of Arsenal. That is it. I believe Arsenal can beat Spurs. Without Odegaard, without Rice, Arsenal can beat that team because Arsenal has quality. And there is a story I'm planning to do. I think, tomorrow morning about Raheem Sterling. People have forgotten about what Raheem Sterling is all about. Sterling is that kind of player that is gonna obviously come up and obviously be very pivotal into this team of Arsenal. And by the way, Arteta might shock you and even start him in the midfield in that game. Because, one, he's a big game winner, right? And he is a goal scorer. And he creates assists. That is Raheem Sterling for you. Arsenal has a very big squad, and you'll see to it that the bench is really not going to be disappointing. I've gonna hate to see some people talking about Nwaneri and Arteta has come out and obviously had something to say about including Nwaneri into the squad, but I think that is really too premature. Why? Because Arteta has had all the chances to give this guy a go in his games, but he hasn't gone ahead to get him a game ahead of anyone, meaning that the likes of Trossard stand a chance to start into that midfield ahead of Nwaneri, and I'm also gonna be really doing another story about it. Denzel says, watching live from Liantonde. Good job, bro. All right, thank you for watching through. Hope Stefan, which matches is Declan Rice going to miss for the double yellow card? He's only gonna be missing one game, and it's gonna be this game where Arsenal is gonna be facing the side of Tottenham Hotspur. But in the midweek, Arsenal is going to be playing the Champions League. Declan Rice is going to be available. And when you guys are going to be playing Man City, I think next Sunday, obviously, he's going to be available. Unless otherwise, he really gets himself injured. But he's missing only this game of Spurs and is out of the North London derby. Big miss, but I believe Arsenal have the players that can really kill off this game and obviously beat Spurs to the pulp. That is it. A joy, Godfrey. Hello, Rokani. I'm Godfrey, catching you from Koboko Town. I'm sure Arsenal can still beat Spurs without Rice and Odegaard. That is it. I've been one of the people that have gone ahead, obviously, champion that, because the quality of Arsenal surpasses the side of Spurs, and the level at which Arsenal is, and the longevity that Arteta is going to have to be here to build a squad. Obviously, it's a team that can beat anyone. You get? Those two players have better replacements to do the job. You understand? So, and it's all about Arteta finding a best system that can suit his players. And if he gets that system, I tell you, if he gets it right, he's really going to beat Spurs badly. Arsenal can even go gung-ho because Arsenal has been predictable most of the times with their starting 11, because you note that it's always right in goal, Benjamin White, right back, Timber, left back, or Calafiori. Then you go in for Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba, then Declan Rice, Partey, and Martin Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and Kai Havertz, all Jesus. So it's very easy for the manager to sit in his office and obviously find a situation on how to obviously checkmate that side of Arsenal, But here, obviously, coming up with a plan to stop Arsenal is really going to be hard, because he doesn't know whether even Mikel Arteta is going to be sticking to his system of a 4-3-3. No one knows it. So I tell you, it's a lot of things that are really to be considered. And it's very hard to obviously come up and obviously read the mind of Mikel Arteta if at all you are Ange Postecoglou. And if at all you were to ask Ange Postecoglou about what he prefers into this, he would tell you, I'd prefer Arsenal to have Declan Rice and Odegaard, because he knows to it that for that, I'll know how to obviously combat them. But how do you combat a team whose system you haven't gonna hate to know that the manager is really gonna be using? You understand? So we wait and see how that is really gonna be panning out for the side of Arsenal as far as this encounter is really concerned. But never say never into this game of football. Arteta might surprise us with some players, and those that are injured might find themselves into the starting 11 for the club of Arsenal. So never say never. But that game is going to be huge. And and out of the game, we are always here to break the news of who is to start and who is not going to start. That's what we do in here onto the Rokani Media Football. But remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets, dealers in dealers in what we call brand new phones and brand new laptops. Even if you want a used phone or a used laptop, you can call them on the number you see there, plus 256 70 99 88 665. And Mono Gadgets is also on TikTok. Search for them on TikTok, follow them, and see the wide range of products that they are really having. That is Mono Gadgets for you, and you should be loving them and joining the big family of Mono Gadgets. Then I'm having another comment here. Sendagir Ronaldo will be back, bro, on the live, but I've been dropping in recordings. Richard Fenny, wow, bro, long time. How are you? I'm doing great, and hope you're doing great too. So this is the story that these have been the headline stories. Twino Mugisha Medson, thanks my brother for your wonderful update and news about my team. I started supporting in 1997 up to date. Sunday I prefer Sterling ahead of Martinelli. Yeah, but I know Sterling is really gonna give you a better end product to the game, and I've told you that Arteta should stop doing what we call picking Martinelli on favoritism, because you can't tell me that you put that guy ahead of Trossard and Sterling. But Sterling has to first show us. He has to storm the yard and show us what he has got, in his tank. Because for Trossard, however much you see us coming in here to obviously say good things for him, he has proven himself. He has gone ahead to prove himself. He's a proven player at Arsenal, and his works have gone ahead to be approved by the manager, and that's why the fans come out and demand for him starting ahead of the guy. Not so? I think that is really approved to the levels that most of you have gone ahead obviously understand and really know better and better and better. He has proven himself. So, after that, I think we will see what we're doing. We are having Madison says, I'm watching from Barara. Thank you for watching through. We are having people watching from Liantonde and very many others. Guys, thank you for obviously being here. And just get to know that you want to improve our studio. If at all you feel like you can give us a push, you can as well note down this number. It's 0703 244 292. If you really feel like you want to obviously have a contribution onto us really improving our studio, because I want us to have a better studio, I want us to have a better studio. I have gathered some funds, but some money is missing. So if at all you feel like you can join us and obviously build our studio, make it better, that is the number where you guys can come in through and obviously contribute a little bit and see how things are really going to be panning in through in the end. But it's not forceful. It's something that you just have to come. If you feel like you can, if you feel like you want to give us a hand, you're welcome. Then I'm having Joseph Paul. Jesus to score. Keep this message. You'll tell me. All right. Joseph Paul. All right. I'll wait and see whether your prediction is right. That Gabriel Jesus will obviously have to score. But I all know that he has the experience. And he's a man who was going to hit to score most of his games when he's playing against big teams. And in such fixtures, you need his mentality, as he's mentally upright in such games, and he can give you the best that you deserve in as a team. So thank you very much. Now let's leave Arsenal at that, and let's go to another casualty of the international break, and that is Nathan Ake. He went off the pitch, and now we know that Nathan Ake will be ruled out until the next international break, says Pep Guardiola, and as such will miss 7 matches. He said, Pep, in his words, we are unlucky with Nathan and the international team. Every team he goes there, he comes back injured. So Nathan Ake found himself injured. That is it. He got himself injured, and obviously it's not good news. It's not music to ears to the fans of Arsenal that the fans of Man City, that Nathan Ake is really injured. He's injured and he's really out. And I cannot come here and confirm to you that he's really going to come up and obviously put in the required shift altogether. So he's going to be out for all those games. And he's another one that fell a victim into that preseason. Now, when you look at Man City, meaning that in the next 7 games Man City are really gonna play, this guy is really gonna be missing in action. And let's read out these games and see. Brentford. Man City will be playing Brentford today or Saturday. Champions League, they're playing Inter Milan. They'll play Arsenal next Sunday. He's gonna be out. They play Watford in the EFL third round. He's gonna be out. Newcastle on the 28th. He's gonna be hosting Man City. He's gonna be out. And Slovian Bratislava in the Champions League, and Man City Fulham. He's expected to return when Man City will be hosted by Wolverhampton Wanderers on the 20th of October. So even Man City has gonna hate to find themselves affected into this international break, and they're like, oh, I'm having Tunomujina Madison is saying we can contribute. Let me put the number there. Let me pin it. 0703-244-292. 0703-244-292. So let me pin it up there. I think you're gonna hate to see it. I've really so I'm gonna hate to pin it up there. You know, that is it. 0703-244-292. So if at all you feel like you will have a contribution to the studio, because I really want to really change it a little bit and really give it a different aura altogether, that's the number. +256 or 0703-244-292. And let's do this for the channel, because I have some money with me, but it's not enough. You know, I want to upgrade it. So let's see you people come up. If you feel like you can help, you know, do the needful. Now, let's go to some other huge story that is acting as a boost for the side of Man City. As they went in the international break, Foden was doubtful and Rodri had not gonna obviously play in the first opening 3 games of the season for the side of Man City. But today, Pep Guardiola came up with some good news that Phil Foden and Rodri are both available for Man City versus Brentford this weekend. Confirmed, and he said they are good. They are training really well. That's what Pep Guardiola went ahead to say. And by the way, when you really have such people returning, even the injury of this guy won't really affect you. I tell you, it won't really affect you. I'm talking about the injury of Nathan Ake, because for Nathan Ake, they have Jesco Vadio. He can play in every position that this guy has been playing in. The other guy is Akanji. You know, Akanji can also come in through and play as a left back, and play as a right back, and play the central defense. He can even play in the midfield. But the difference is what Nathan Ake gets you. You know, he's strong and is a Premier League proven player. And him being a seasoned winner at the side of Man City ever since he came in through from the side of Bournemouth, I think Nathan Ake has gone ahead to prove to us that he's really good. The £40 million, they went ahead obviously buy him from that side, having to go ahead and really get wasted. But for Phil Foden returning and Rodri returning, there is no further boost that you really want to really take your team to the dream world like that. It's the biggest boost that you'll ever want to get in your team, because this is really very, very good, and it's good news for them as they go into the Brentford game, because Brentford is a tricky team. However much they're having Ika Gundogan, they're having Savinho and very many other good players. Kevin De Bruyne, Haaland, very sharp, scoring 7 in the first 3 games. No Premier League man, no Premier League players ever gonna hate to do it. And he can even score a hat-trick on Saturday as they take on Brentford. I tell you, Foden returning and Rodri playing into the middle of the park will obviously help Man City really win a lot of battles. And this is where the title battle starts, because it's really gonna really heat up. I tell you, it's really gonna heat up like no other. You know, those players returning, Remember last season, they really went ahead to really do a lot of things. For Rodri, he scored a lot. You remember that game where they were losing? You remember? That game of Man City and Chelsea? Rodri rose up to the occasion. Phil Foden, when they are playing against Manchester United, United was leading by 1-0 for like 50 minutes. I think 56 minutes. And you remember how he really improvised and went ahead to level that game. So he did a lot. In the final game when they were playing against West Ham, where they needed to beat it, he opened up the scoreline by scoring that beauty. So Foden has been a very pivotal player into what Pep Guardiola has gone ahead to get at the side of Man City. So he's really back, and they're going to be playing Brentford. Now, talking about that game of Brentford, it's really going to be a tricky game. Man City is going to be playing Brentford, and it's the only team in the past 32 games that has gone ahead to obviously beat Man City at the Etihad. And I tell you, Man City has gone 31 Premier League games without losing a game at the Etihad. You get ever since they lost to Brentford. So, Man City know it very well that history repeats itself, and they might find themselves losing to this side. You get? And the manager has also come out and obviously had something to say about this game of football. But let me bring you up to speed and really show you who is in, out, and the probable starting 11 for Man City and the probable starting 11 for the side of Brentford before we obviously go any further. But smash the like button, guys, and continue to subscribe to this channel because we want to hit 30,000 subscribers, right? We are left with 800 to hit 24,000 subscribers, and let's do the due diligence. Now, when you look at the injuries of Man City, Oscar Bob has a leg fracture. Nathan Ake is ruled out. I think those are the two players that are really unavailable for the side of Man City. And for the side of Brentford, there is Igor Thiago, Josh Da Silva. They're having injuries. Aaron Hickey has a hamstring injury, and Rico Henry picked up a minor knock over the international break. So, Frank, the manager, has also revealed that the new signing Gustavo Nunes is ruled out for weeks with a minor stress fracture in his back, while Matthias Jensen will be sidelined for a couple of weeks with a calf problem. And on a positive note, they're having Aja, he's recovered. Ethan Pinnock and Nathan Collins are back, and Keane Lewis Porter and Mads Roosevelt potentially recalled to operate the wing back. So the probable starting lineup for Man City will be like Ederson in goal, Kyle Walker right back, Jesco Vadio left back, Akanji and Ruben Diaz in the central defense, then Kovacic, Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne midfield three, Savinho right forward, Doku left forward, and Erling Haaland playing as a left forward. And for Brentford, as per the Sports Mall, they're telling us that Flecken obviously replacing David Raya, who is a permanent signing to the club of Arsenal. Then Collins, Pinnick, Aja, and Roosevelt. That is the back four. Damsgaard, Norgard, and Genlet, midfield three, Lewis Porter, Mbuemo, and Wissa are going to be really attacking the side of Man City to the pulps. And the manager of Man City is like, we cannot take this team for granted. That is it. That's what he's saying. And they are not my words. They are his words. And this is what he had to say about it. He said, I don't remember any easy game against Brentford. Never ever. Since they are promoted into the Premier League, I don't remember. Always it's been tough here and there. It's a complete team. Today or tomorrow will not be an exception. Obviously, it's a very big team. Very big team. And no one is really going to stand into the way of Brentford. Brentford, obviously, we all know what they are going to do. Their plays are really predictable. They are going to sit back. After sitting back, they'll hit the side of Man City onto the break. You understand? They'll hit Man City onto the break. You understand that very well. So, in the due course of obviously looking out for the best of the best, they'll be trying to see to it that everything really moves on as planned. So, as it stands, nothing is really gonna stop us from really getting us to where we deserve to be. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Hope I've gonna hit obviously respond to almost every question. Let me see which question haven't I responded to. There is Francis Oloya. Bro, which region are you coming from? I like Martinelli, he should start. Trossard, I'm coming from Africa. That is it. I come from Africa, and this is where we are best. That is it. So thank you everyone for watching through. Twino Mogisha, Medson, Francis Oloya, Richard Fenny, Sendagid, and very many others that are really watching in through that have not gone ahead obviously coming through and put their names into the live chat. Thank you for being part of this live, and turn your notification bells on, because we are going to be coming live here more often, because I really want to share my ideas with you and see what your thoughts are about it. So you've talked about you like Martinelli. I like Martinelli, he should start and Trossard comes off the bench. But of the two, who really makes more impact off the bench? I think it's Gabriel Martinelli, because Trossard has shown us that he really does a lot, and Trossard has really done all what it takes to prove to the manager, to show him that I'm the guy who is supposed to be starting into this team. I think he deserves the justice. Martinelli is struggling, and you cannot really give a struggling player more minutes than the player that has gone ahead obviously put in a very huge shift. And in the recent games, you've gone ahead to see that Arteta went ahead to start Trossard, because Trossard scored in the game of Aston Villa, and he sort of came off the bench and really put in a very huge shift. So that's what I had to say about that. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David is my name, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, you know. And for the Muslims, may Allah bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. I'm out. And for those that really want to contribute to the studio, do the needful, right? Do the needful, and we will see our studio really coming up in the next month, because I'm really trying to make it look better and better and better. We've been looking like this for some time. I want us to get a new interface, and I'm calling in for your help. It's not by force. If at all you're seated outside there and feel like you can give us a hand, the number is pinned up there. You can do the needful and really send something of that number, and we will see how we can really go on it. Rokani David is my name. We out. Bye-bye and good night. But I tell you, another recording is dropping in an hour's time from now. 5 finger salutes. And remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets, dealers in phones, laptops that are really brand new. Even if you want a used laptop and a used phone, go ahead and do the needful, and go ahead and do the needful, right? Go ahead and do the needful and call +256 70 99 88 665. WhatsApp them that number. They'll get you the best that you want into the mix. What haven't I talked about? And I call upon for your reactions onto Jesus and Calafiori. If they are past fit, who do you start? Tell me the truth. Who do you start? Who do you start into the mix? And will Man City miss Nathan Ake? And what is the impact for Rodri and Foden returning into the team of Arsenal? Good night, my mates and